Hey everyone, I hope you're all good. Today I want to talk about shoulder pain as I announced in the stream. So I'm at my desk because I know that many of you do spend time on the desk. Maybe not everybody, and that's why what I'm going to say is not only applicable to office work, but more generally speaking to shoulder pain. Look, the first thing I'd like to draw your attention to is that this muscle here, which is called upper trapezius, is a very good indicator of what happens in there due to the fact that it attaches to the cervical vertebrae as well as to the shoulder here. So, you know, as soon as something is messed up in the neck and or in the shoulder area, you can be sure that the upper trapezius has something to say is screaming, and therefore it's a good idea to measure, to let's say keep the monitoring what's happening in your upper trapezius, and that's also why neck and shoulder pain are often related to each other. Now, the reason why you have shoulder pain is because you violate rule number 2. Yeah? So let me say again, the reason why you have shoulder pain or neck pain is that you violate rule number 2 that states that this area should always be relaxed. Now, I don't want to blame you 100%, just 90%, because it's true that it's not always easy to recognize that we're straining this area. This is why I'd like to list with you the 9 factors that you need to beware in your daily life to recognize what you do here. First, let me list them, then I will try to give you a way to resolve them. Okay? The 9 factors are 5 head factors, 4 elbow factors, actually shoulder factors. Look, first head factor, this. When you go forward with your head, you see that the upper trapezius suddenly has to hold your head like this, and that gets very tiring, very painful. Plus, it compresses here the tissues that can refer pain in that area. Okay, the scalene in particular. So forward head posture is your first enemy, right? Forward head posture is the central concept around the posture programs. Yeah, the posture programs are intended to help you resolve forward head posture. So stick to the programs and you're gonna get better with that. Second factor, when your neck is flexed more than 20 degrees. You see here it's normal. It flexes, it flexes, it flexes. Here is 20 degrees. Suddenly you feel that your head becomes heavy. So this is typical of you when you spend too much time on your smartphone, or can also be because you're leaning back and you see somehow this becomes a 20-degree angle. Yeah, that you can see here. Third factor, and that might be interesting for you, Teresa. If you have progressive lenses, it's that. Yeah. Why is it relevant to people who have multifocal glasses? Because if my screen is at normal height, now I'm looking at the screen through this part of the lens, but with multifocal glasses, I should look at it through this part of the lens. So you see, if the screen is at the same height, this will happen so that I can see my screen. Yeah. So if you have multifocal glasses, either you should put the screen really super low, or you should change your glasses and get computer glasses that are monofocal glasses with just one correction, 80 centimeters or 70. Okay, so that was the third factor. The fourth factor is asymmetry, and the fifth factor is that. In daily life, this is more, you know, like when you lean in bed or things like this. But in practice, I mean, apart from people who hold the phone like this, or people who have multiple screens and go like this all the time, these are not the priority factors. I would say priority are head forward, flexion more than 20 degrees, and extension. Okay? Now, elbow factors. They are easy to diagnose. Look, your elbows are happy between 0 and 20 degrees. Stay in my chair so that you can see me. And 0 and 20 degrees forward. The rest is a violation of Rule 2 with direct impact on your shoulder joint. So look, going further than this is a violation of Rule 2. That will typically happen if you work on a desk which is too high. Look at my elbow angle now, it's that. Okay? So a too high desk is a typical cause of that. Okay? But that could also simply be because your mouse is too far away, like here. Now this, yeah? This can be multifactorial. If I'm leaning back, my keyboard is far forward again. But even if I'm not leaning back and I have my paper in front of me, my keyboard in front, again I'm more than 20 degrees. Factor number 8 now, when you raise your elbows. Raising your elbows is that. Yeah. So every time you will put weight here, you're messing up your shoulders. And the last factor, normally, unless you wear a posture corrector or unless you do some rowing exercise and things, it's when you pull your elbows back. Okay? So these are the 9 factors that mess up your head, and your priority should be to identify forward head posture, flexion more than 20 degrees, extension, and elbows spread to the side, forward or up. Okay, I know it's a long short list, it's 6 instead of 9, but these are the typical ones that I see involved all the time in shoulder pain. What you should do now is observe your daily activities and try to monitor these factors, especially those that are combined with a prolonged duration or with weight. Okay, weight can be your weight. So these are the factors that mess up your neck. Now, in terms of treatment, you should not try to strengthen your neck and shoulder area. Stop with that. Okay, let me explain the origin of why the physical therapists in particular keep wanting to strengthen the neck and shoulder area. The reason why they want to do that is that by definition, when you have pain somewhere, it means that the load on the tissues is higher than the capacity of the tissues. And the universal answer right now, nowadays, I mean, in the paramedical world is, okay, if the capacity is too low, let's increase the capacity, let's strengthen. It's a violation of Rule 2, you know. Your neck is meant to be relaxed, it's full of pipes. And if you strengthen, you're just putting strain on the tissues. Just tell me, how can you resolve strain with strain? It's not feasible. You messed up your neck doing normal things, and you think that exerting efforts will resolve the problem that you created? No way. So don't work on the capacity, i.e. the strength, work on reducing the load. Okay? So run away from anyone who wants to strengthen your neck and your shoulders. Also beware people who want to inject you all the time. Yeah? My dad is a medical doctor. He told me recently that when he was a student, they were learning that with more than 2 injections, you had lifetime consequences. Now I have people who get 9, 10, 11 injections in their shoulders with no result because they get injected, and as soon as they get the injection, they keep feeding the problem with their bad habits. So beware, 1 injection, okay, if there's no choice, it might be a second one, but if 2 injections haven't resolved the problem, it's somewhere else. Okay? Last point. Now, how do we really exercise? The key is frequency. Frequency means not every week or twice a week. It means every 2 hours. I'm soon going to publish the story of a patient of mine, which I got when he could not move more than this. And I made him, for a few weeks, apply heat every 2 hours, plus 2 exercises that I'm going to show you now, every 2 hours also. It took me 3 weeks to bring him from here, where he was blocked for a year, to here. Yeah? The key is you don't hurt yourself and you move extremely frequently within your comfortable range of motion. So to move at first without any weight, you need to support your arms. And you need to do simple movements. Simple movements means X, Y. Okay? So first part, if you have shoulder pain, is this. I'm going to show you now the sitting exercises, then we're going to do the standing exercises. Very easy. You do 5 times that, and you rest it. And you're going to do the same in 2 hours. Then you go front, a little bit back. Okay? So for at least a week, your hands are on your lap so that there's no weight. Then you can keep your hands free. Okay? And you stop before feeling the pain. Okay? You don't go, you're not looking for big movement, you're looking for relaxed movement. You replace amplitude by frequency. Once you're done with simple movements and the weight of your arms, you go back to putting no weight, but you make more complex movements, i.e. rotations. Then, I'm now on week 4, I'm going to go like this. In very severe cases, before week 1, it can happen that we say, okay, wait a sec. We need to stand, and actually to reduce even more the weight, just go like that. That can be sitting also. And we just let the arms hang freely like this. Front, back, then off sync, then like this, then like that. Always straight, and only when you're comfortable with that you can do more complex movements like circles. Do the movements with me, yeah? Again, the idea is not to look for big movement, the idea is to look for comfortable area. So you see I'm here and I just move like this. But again, I move super frequently. Okay? Little by little, you're gonna regain the amplitude in your arm. You know, thing is, a lot of people say, yeah, I climb again. This exercise is with strength. There's the weight of your arm. So if it's to check the mobility of your arm, my advice is that you support your elbow. Okay? We want no weight at first. Now we'll do a few more stretches for the shoulder, but that's not for the people who have the shoulder completely frozen. It's for later. Okay, let's stretch this muscle here that does this. To do that, you're going to put your hand in your back, hold it with the other hand, and pull inwards. So we go like this. I'm going to remove the chair, it's going to be more visible. So we go like that. You don't need to put your head on the wall like I'm doing. I just find it more comfortable today. You see my bad habit? I'm always like this. I've seen the videos. It's really not a good thing. It hurts here. You relax and we stretch the other side. So this is the stretch of the supraspinatus that refers pain to this area and that prevents you from raising your elbow like this. Now I'm going to turn the cam and we're going to stretch the infraspinatus and we're going to stretch the upper trapezius. So let's go like towards the door, bring the foot down, remove the light, remove the paper documents also, and here we go. To stretch, just checking that, okay. To stretch the infraspinatus, so this muscle here, you're gonna go on all fours and just go like this. You see, you can either be like this or like this, up to you. But just to show you, I'm here. So I'm holding my elbow with my hand and I'm pulling across my chest and applying a bit of weight with my torso. And of course, staying here. You can do it either with your arm at shoulder level or preferably with your arm below the shoulder. Why below the shoulder? Because we said that raising the elbow was a violation of rule 2. Careful that your head doesn't go forward when you do that. And you come back gently, we go the other side. Hand in your elbow and apply a bit of weight. A bit of weight, yeah? I don't want you to feel pain. Again, if it's super painful, going like this is enough at first. This is stretching the shoulder area. Now, as we said, the third important muscle, I mean, there are more muscles that we could stretch, but the third important one is the upper trapezius. To do that, you lie on your side with this leg stretched, and you go like this, turn your head, and bring your chin to your collarbone. We're going to combine with post-isometric relaxation, which is against gravity when I inhale, and with gravity when you exhale. Once more. My neck just made clack. Other way around. And I'm showing you the other variant, yeah? Here we were like this. You can reach other fibers of the upper trapezius by going like there. And post-isometric relaxation goes the same way. Great. Okay, my friends, raising the cam, and I will summarize and we'll do the upper body resets. To summarize, my message is, look, my friends, for the neck and shoulder area, you're only allowed to do mobilization, relaxation, and stretching exercises. Yeah? At first, when the pain is very intense, you may only do mobilization and relaxation within only your comfortable range of motion, which may be very small, in simple directions, i.e. no complex movements, i.e. no rotation, with no weight, i.e. you support your arms, and you compensate all these limitations by an extreme frequency, that means every 2 hours at least. Okay? Among the relaxation exercises, we of course have the upper body reset, but what we're going to do today is we're going to do the upper body reset for people with shoulder pain. So look, I'm going to stand properly and I'm just going to shake my wrists super small. You see? It's barely visible. I'm going to throw my thumbs. And then I'm going to go with my elbows. This is still the upper body reset. Trying the minimum version. And then we move the shoulders as much as they can move. This is what we do every 2 hours. Then we move the neck as much as it can do. Usually it's not symmetric. There's one side that can do more than the other. and then the back. Okay, this is a version of for people who are really super stiff, eh? And you just look for minimum effort. Then you bend your head a bit, and probably you don't want to go lower than this, because you also have lower back pain. You're really messed up, my friend. Okay, this is the upper body reset for people who have massive pain, to be done every 2 hours. That's it, my friends. Wish you a great Sunday, and send me your ideas for next week. Bye bye.